Hi friends, welcome to episode 40 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha and you can find me anywhere online as Nadira Tani. I'm coming to you today as normal from my home in Central Florida. Today is Monday, May 21st. So if you are a new or a returning viewer, thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I really appreciate it. Before we get into the craftiness, I do have some alongs and events that I want to chat about with you for just a moment. The first that I want to talk about is the As Seen on TV Cal. Now the As Seen on TV Cal is almost over. It ends on June 1st, so that's not this coming Friday, but the Friday following. So, well, when you see this, it'll be the next Friday. But the As Seen on TV Cal is an along which is being hosted by myself and Melody of the Melody Crochet podcast. She has the chatter thread in her Rav group, and I have the finished objects thread. Both of those threads will have links in the description bar. The theme of the podcast, the theme of the along is to basically recreate something that you've seen on TV or in a movie. To be eligible for prizes, all you have to do is be a member of both of our Ravelry groups, as well as post a picture of your finished project and the inspiration item from the TV show or movie in the finished objects thread. That way everybody can see like what you saw and then what you made. And that's it as far as being eligible for prizes on the finished object side. Make sure that you're following Melody's group because she is also going to be giving away prizes for her chatter thread. So get over there and chit chat. I think that's everything I wanted to say for the As Seen on TV Cal. Oh, I did mention that I'll be giving away a prize, and here is a picture of it. So yeah, if you want to win that prize, go ahead and make sure that you have your finished objects and the inspiration photo posted in the Quirky Monday Craftcast Ravelry group thread. Again, links to all that down below. The second thing that I want to talk about is the upcoming Mental Health Awareness Love Bombing. It is going to be taking place on Saturday, May 26th, and all you have to do is, in order to participate, is knit or crochet an awareness ribbon. The color for mental health awareness is green, and I'm just asking that you attach a little tag to that ribbon with an encouraging word for someone else, as well as put our hashtags, and I'll put those at the bottom of the screen. And then you can hang those ribbons anywhere out in public so that others can see. I have posted on Instagram a very basic tutorial on how to crochet an awareness ribbon, and the video that you would have seen before this one was the extended version of that tutorial. So yeah, I really hope that you're able to participate, and of course if you can't get out on Saturday, that's fine. If you just want to like take a picture of your ribbon and your encouraging word and just post this to social media, I feel like that's a yarn bombing also. So I am hoping to use this as an opportunity to radiate some more positivity out into the world, to brighten our corners and to really remind other people that may be having different struggles or different difficulties, you know, even if it's not a mental health like a mental health problem that they're dealing with. If it's anything, you know, I want this to be something that can remind someone else that they're not alone in whatever the struggle is that they're dealing with. So yeah, those are the two announcement kind of things that I wanted to get out at the top of the episode. So all that being said, let's get on to some craftiness. I do have a couple finished objects, which of course are in the bottom of this bag. Hello? Okay, So my two finished objects are really tiny, but they are two awareness ribbons. So this is how the awareness ribbon will look. Like super simple, like I said. It's just a double crochet ribbon, double crochet US terms. So a double crocheted ribbon, wrapped over itself, stitched in the middle, and then it has a little tag on it and a hang tag. And you can just hang that up anywhere, and then passersby can read your little message. So this one says, "Your story matters," and then it has the 3 hashtags that I want to use. And on the back, I've written, "Find my friends on Instagram," with the hashtag. So that way, anyone else who finds this, anyone that finds this can look on Instagram and pull up that hashtag and see what other messages other people have put up. So I have 2. This is my second one. And this one says, "You are not alone." So yeah, I'm going to be making a ton of these so that the other young adults at my church can participate in it with me as well. I'm going to make the ribbons and have those all done and then attach the tags to them. And then everyone or anyone at my church that wants to participate can write an encouraging message on there. And then we can go out as a group and hang them around town, kind of paint the town green, if you will. That was really weird. So I'm going to just, let's see if these will hang up here. Ta-da! So those are my only 2 finished objects. Again, I did put a super simple, like simplified, like picture tutorial on how to create that on Instagram. So if you're following me over there, it's Nadir Tani, and you can see that tutorial. And if you want something more detailed, again, take a look at the video before this one for a more detailed tutorial on how to create an awareness ribbon. Yeah, that will bring us on to works in progress. I have a hoe. This week's hoe is my tomato socks, and this one has, I did the afterthought heel, and that's the red yarn that I dyed myself over Christmas for my Kwanzaa socks. Yeah, so it works really, really nicely. While I was knitting the sock, I had like a sneaking suspicion that I was going to make the foot too short. Because typically the way that I knit my socks, I'll do the leg and then a short row wrap and turn heel and then continue with the foot. But because I did an afterthought heel, I just thought, okay, well, typically, what is the heel? Like 1.5 to 2 inches out of the, like the foot length, like when you measure your foot or something like that. So I was like, okay, well, my foot is 10.5 inches long, I think, 10.5 inches. So I took out the heel measurements. So I got to 8.5 inches. And then I thought, okay, well, let me take off the length of the toe, which is roughly another, like the same as the heel. So then that brought me down to like 6.5 inches. So I was like, okay, so I need 6.5 inches of flat knitting, of even knitting for the foot, and then I can do the toe. And because I get like super nitpicky when it comes to stuff like how many rows are in a sock or in my socks, I mark out my rows so that I can count them, right? I did the 72 rows that I normally do, and it measured right. So I was like, okay, so I went ahead and finished the toe, and then I cut in the heel, and well, I went down to the last stitches. I didn't Kitchener the toe. Then I went ahead and did the heel, finished that, Kitchenered it closed, and put on the sock. And it was probably about a good centimeter too short. So I had to rip out the toe, knit some more rows on the foot, and then put the toe back in. So I don't think afterthought heels are for me. I don't really like them. I don't really like how it fits. I don't like the uncertainty that I have when I'm knitting the foot in like before I put in an afterthought heel. So maybe like, I don't know in what situation I would need to do an afterthought heel because I do the short row ones. So things you learn. Afterthought heels, not for Kalisha. I actually considered on the second sock just doing a short row heel, and I was like, no, they will look and probably fit so much differently than each other, so I'm just gonna go ahead and thug it out and do another afterthought heel on the second sock. Now I haven't started the second sock yet, so I'll probably do that at some point today, maybe. But that's my hoe. I really like how the yarn worked out. Yeah. It is, the leg is 3x1 ribs, and the cuff is 2x2. If you all can hear that, it started raining a little bit harder. If it gets any harder than this, I'm gonna have to stop, but we shall press on. The next work in progress that I have is actually a test knit. This is a test knit that I'm doing for Zakia of the Lady Wing Crafts podcast and Lady Wing Designs. She has designed a sock pattern, and it's called the Shine Bright sock, and everything is tangled up in this bag. Pardon me. Talk amongst yourselves. There we go. So I am testing the 60 stitch sock, and I am using this yarn. This is Deborah Norville Serenity Sock in Burgundy. I think we're still good. Deborah Norville Serenity Sock in Burgundy. And here is how the sock is working up. Let me pull it onto the needle so that you can see the pattern. Ta-da! So she's got this central diamond motif, and you know, you've got the textured diamonds as well as the lace diamonds, and then it is bordered by a row of pearl stitches. So I just packed up everything to move inside because it was raining really hard, and then it just stopped. Where was I? I was talking about Zakia's Shine Bright socks. So this is the pattern. It is a toe-up sock, and you have this central diamond pattern. You have the texture diamonds and then lace diamonds, and then they're bordered by a row of pearls. Yeah, diamonds and pearls. Anyway, so it's a very it's very easy to memorize pattern once you like get like the gist of it, and it's very easy to read your knitting as well. I did make a mistake like on one of the lace diamonds, and I realized it like 2 rows later when I was on the next row of lace, and one of the eyelets was just like 1 stitch off, and I was looking at it like, why does it look like that? Did I miss the eyelet? What did I do? So I ended up having to tink back, which was a little bit annoying, but I'm glad that I did it because since it's a test knit, I want it to be nice, you know? So let me put it on a blocker so you can see it stretched out. There it is. So I very rarely do toe-up socks. Typically the only time I'll do a toe-up sock is like if I'm unsure if I have enough yarn to get through the sock. So I'll go toe up to make sure that I have enough for the foot, and then like the leg I can just do whatever. But yeah, so this pattern calls for a German short row heel, and I've never done German short rows. So I was like trucking along through the pattern, and then as I was like working my way up the foot, I think I'm halfway through the foot right now, I was like, oh gosh, this new heel is coming up, and I haven't worked on it in like 2-3 days just because I'm nervous about the heel. But I mean, we gotta learn something new sometime, right? So yeah. Shine Bright socks. And that's my other work in progress. And those are the only two, this one and the tomato socks are the only two things that I have going right now, like actively going. Lots of plans, as you know I do. I always have so many ideas running around in my head. But, and speaking of plans, that brings us to maker plans. I was watching the Dabbling Hook podcast last week, I think it was, and she had posted an episode, and in it she was talking about all these different like amigurumis and stuffies that she was making, and she showed this one that is like a little dinosaur. And one of my friends at work, her son is turning 2 and they're having a dinosaur themed birthday party, so I thought this would be a really cute gift to make for him. Now I really need to get on it because his birthday is June 10th, so I have like a couple weeks to get this finished. Like, I always come up with these ideas at the last minute. Goodness, planning is not my strong suit. But yeah, so it's called, the pattern is called the Dinosaur Stuffy by Erica Dietz, I think it is, of FiveLittleMonsters.com. And I'll put up a picture of it and a link to the pattern so that you can go and see it. And she also has, like, FiveLittleMonsters.com is her blog, and she's got lots of patterns. It's really a cool website. So definitely go check that out. But I am going to be making this dinosaur. And my desire is to make it out of 100% stash. I don't know if I'll be able to do that because I just looked at my green like yarn and I don't have a lot, and I kind of had like my heart set on, there's a lizard fight happening. I keep getting interrupted by wildlife. Anyway, I kind of had my heart set on creating a green dinosaur for him, but I guess it can be whatever color I want it to be. I do have a lot of blue, so I might make him a blue dinosaur. We'll see. But he's gonna get a dinosaur and it's gonna be super cute, and I can't wait to start it. That is the only thing on maker plans. Yes. That was kind of fast. So the next thing we're going to talk about is stashquisition. Now, I recently started watching, what's her podcast name? Amanda Hooked on Yarn? I think that's right. But she did a like a yarn review of some new yarns that she found from Joann's. She did the Red Heart Fair Isle, I think it's called, and Shawl in a Cake. So when she said shawl in a cake, I was like, didn't they have something called shawl in a ball? Yes, they did. So I went to my my Joann's the other day just to, well, I went to get yarn for the dinosaur, but then I decided I wanted to use stash, so I didn't. And I came across these yarns, right? Let me pull these out. And I wanted to pick up a couple of them because I kind of wanted to talk about this idea, right? So here is a ball, not a ball. Here is Shawl in a Cake. It is by Lion Brand. One of these cakes is supposed to be enough to give you a shawl. It is 150 grams, 481 yards or 440 meters, 61% cotton, 34% acrylic, and 5% other fiber. It's listed as a number 4 medium, takes a 5mm knitting needle or 6mm crochet hook. So I got the Namaste Neutrals, which I really like those browns, and then on the side it shows how the gradient should go. So yeah, there's a little bit of sparkle in there, which I'm assuming is the other fibers. But yeah, so let's talk about this. I also have a ball of shawl in a ball, and I got this from Hobby Lobby on clearance, but the regular price of this was $8.99. The regular price of this at Joann's was $9.99. Clearance, 50% off coupon. Don't go anywhere without your coupons. But anyhow, so in my mind I was like, I know that this is probably the same, or this sounds like the shawl and the ball. So when I got home, I compared them, and yeah, they're pretty much the same. Now, yeah, basically the same makeup. This one is 58% cotton, 39% acrylic, and 3% other fiber. But the main difference is the yardage. So this one it's the same weight. So 150 grams, number 4 medium weight yarn, right? Same needle and hook recommendations, but the yardage of this one is 518 yards or 473 meters, whereas this one was 481 yards, 440 meters. So you get more, or you got more in the shawl and a ball than you get in shawl and a cake, but it's the same thing, just in a different like presentation. And that's kind of what caught my attention about it, was that this is a really smart marketing strategy. Because if you look at commercial yarns right now, like, it's all about the cake, like all about the striping cake or the gradient cake or cake, right? So why come up with something new if you can take your existing yarn or your existing product, repackage it, and sell it to the people for probably a little bit more than you originally did? But to be fair, I think the shawl in a ball, when it was at Joann's, was probably $9.99 as well. But that's really smart. We see you, Lion Brand. We see you. But yeah, so I'm actually excited to try this out. I bought this one like on clearance because every time I saw it in the store, I wanted to get it, but I was like, I don't really have a plan. But then when it went on clearance, I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. So this one is called Soothing Blue. It's just a gradient of blues. So yeah. Oh, I have like earth tones. I just need a green one. I don't need a green one. So yeah, those are those two. The next one that I found was this ball, this cake. So another cake. This is Premier Yarns DK Colors, 100% anti-pill acrylic, 5 ounces, 140 grams, 383 yards, 350 meters, almost said millimeters, 350 meters. It is listed as a number 3 light yarn. It takes a 4mm knitting needle or crochet hook. So what I liked about these colors, or this particular yarn range, is that it is a DK weight, which is something that's kind of hard to find in the US unless it's baby yarn. And this is not marketed as a baby yarn. It is like, the colorways are like, was one of the only like soft ones. The colorways are very bright for this. I think I took a picture of it, so I'll insert that picture. But I thought that was really cool. It has kind of a soft shimmer to it. I think this is going to be very similar to the Joy DK that I tried from Michaels. So we'll see how that compares. But yeah, pretty cool. This was $5.99. Yeah. It was $5.99, and again, I had a 50% off coupon. If you're in the US and you have a Joann's near you, like, stack those coupons. sign up for their emails, sign up for their text messages, get their app, and go to their website. Coupons for days. And the last ball of yarn was one that I saw it a couple times ago, like a couple weeks ago when I went to Joann's. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I kept walking. This particular time, I stopped and I looked at it, and then I realized what it was. This is another Lion brand yarn. It's called Cupcake. Lion brand Cupcake, so cake y'all. This is the colorway Sunny Day. That's how the stripe sequence is supposed to go, or like the order. And then this is the ball. Okay? So, the keen-eyed among you will say, that looks really familiar. Why does it look so familiar? Because it is exactly the same as the mandala yarn that we all know and love. So when I was looking at this, it is 150 grams, 590 yards, 540 meters, 100% acrylic. It is a light number 3 yarn. Calls for a 3.75 millimeter knitting needle or a 5 millimeter crochet hook. So I went into my stash and I found a ball of mandala. Like, it's so much the same that look. It's the same, guys. So the biggest thing with mandala that I have noticed is that it's, aside from being able to purchase it online, it's only sold in Walmart, right? And a lot of times we'll go into Walmart and there's like maybe a couple balls, or the yarn section is so like disheveled that you can't find anything, or it's just tomfoolery and shenanigans, right? So I went to Joann's and they have like, I don't even know how many. I'm gonna put up a picture because I took a picture of the whole section. You guys, if you like mandala and you like how they do the color changes, you like the color availability, check out this Cupcake, because it is the same thing with a different label. Just like when they came out with Mandala Baby, it's the same thing with a different label. I just can't, like, really, Lion brand? You just gonna have the same yarn and put a different label on it and put it in a different store and it's a different thing? That's fine. That's fine. I ain't even gonna knock this hustle because y'all got us. Y'all got us. But what I really do appreciate, even though it is the same yarn, I mean, it feels the same and everything. Even though it's the same yarn, the colorways are different. So it would be really irritating if, like, I was like, okay, so I have this ball of mandala, and then you go and look for Cupcake and they have like the same color, like the same colors in like a different order or something like that. No, the Cupcake yarns have a completely different set of colors. So that's pretty cool. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, I know so many of my crafty friends love mandala. They're always looking for mandala. They can never find mandala. Joann's, Lion brand Cupcake, mandala in disguise. So yeah, this, I really like the colors on here, like the warm colors. I might have to do another garment with this. Maybe some sort of, oh, I should try making like a crochet skirt or something like that. Or maybe I'll just stick to tops. I think I'll just stick to tops. So yeah, those are the stash positions that I wanted to talk about. I think out of all of them, I'm most impressed with the Cupcake because there were so many different options. And the shawl in a cake is really cool. There were a lot of different colorways of that, and there were a lot of different textures. Like this particular one is kind of, can you see that? It's kind of fuzzy, a little bit. There were some that were like fuzzy to the point that it was almost like a mohair kind of fuzz, or like an alpaca halo. But of course, you know, there isn't any natural fiber in these. except for the cotton. But there were some that were not fuzzy at all. So there's lots of different options that you have texture-wise with these. There were some that had the like sparkle in it, some that did not have the sparkle. So yeah, I'm really excited to try this yarn out to see how it works up. And I shall report back. Yeah. Oh, I didn't say the Lion Brand cupcake was $7.99 a ball. So that is more expensive on the regular price than what you can get them in dollar for at Walmart. But if you do a coupon on that, you're right at the Walmart price. So there's that. The next thing I wanted to chat about is Black Fibers, Black Threads. So I was exploring the internet, as I do whenever I'm looking for a topic to talk about in Black Fibers, Black Threads, and I came across this really cool project that knitters and crocheters in South Africa were like championing. So they had what was called the secret scarf mission, and this was something they did in, I think it was July of last year. Yeah, July of 2017. And basically what they were doing was the leader of it, I forget her name, but I'll put it at the bottom, was encouraging knitters and crocheters to make scarves and put them out in public so that they could be used by people, you know, like any homeless people or people who needed, you know, the warm, like warm weather or cold weather accessories. And they hung them everywhere, so it was kind of like a yarn bombing in a way. But each scarf had a tag that said, it was something along the lines of, "I'm not lost. If you need me, please take me home with you." And I found an article about it, which I will link down below. But it was talking about, or it showed pictures of all of these different areas where there were like in a park and there were trees that just had scarves hanging from them, like so many different colors and textures of scarves. There were bridges where along the walkway there's just like scarves hanging and hanging. And I thought that was such an awesome idea. But this group also they also have a project called 67 blankets. What was it? 67 blankets for Madiba Day, I think it was. So basically what that project was to be able to knit 67 blankets by Nelson Mandela Day. And the lady, again, the one whose name I put at the bottom, she accepted this challenge to knit, crochet, or sew 67 blankets by Nelson Mandela Day. And when she spoke about it on social media, of course, the crafting community was like, you know, yes, we'll participate with that as well. So she was able to, you know, meet her goal in that first year, and she's just kept doing it ever since. When you read about these different projects, it's really cool to see people come together for like charity, and to see people spend their time putting into like a charitable act, and that's really cool. This year they have two major projects. They have the 27-kilometer scarf and the massive Mandela masterpiece. Now the 27-kilometer scarf is their goal is to knit the longest scarf in the world. And I think right now the record is held by India, and it's like 19 kilometers, I think, or roundabouts. If I'm wrong, of course, I'll put it on the screen. But so this South African group was like, I think we can do this. Let's do 27 kilometers. And they chose the number 27 for the number of years that Nelson Mandela was in prison. So they have like set up basically where you can knit a section of the scarf, and it has specific like gauge requirements, length requirements, and everything like that, so that they can make sure that they're making their like marks on the length of the scarf. And I think that's going to be so cool. So I'm definitely going to follow this project and, you know, hope that they make the goal, because that would be such a cool like accomplishment. Like, we together have knit the world's longest scarf. And then the massive Mandela masterpiece is a pixel blanket that they have. It has the face of Nelson Mandela worked into it, as well as colors around it of the South African flag, which is really cool. On their website, they have the chart, so if you want to make one of your own, you definitely can. When I was looking at this, like, yes, the Secret Scarf Mission and the 67 blankets for Nelson Mandela Day, and like these 2 projects that they have going this year, they're really awesome. I like the way that they're pulling people together behind them. But the particular website that I went to, that I read about it on, it was like an article that was written by a different person on a website, right? And when I clicked on the website, it brought a pop-up, and it was like a pop-up with a quote on it. And I wrote down the quote, and it says, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." And that's by Margaret Mead. And that just really says a lot to me about the maker community. It is full of groups of thoughtful people who, in whatever way that they can, in whatever small way that they can, want to change their world. And it's like the maker community snowballs on itself whenever there's a cause, or whenever there is a need. You know, like someone will put out that need, like they needed scarves for people who were less fortunate. So they said, hey, this is something that we're doing. And the rest of the community rallied behind it. And I think that is such a beautiful thing, especially in a world where all you see a lot of times when you look at the media is division and people fighting and people opposing each other and being so split apart. Being able to be part of a community that allows so much inclusion and is so quick to rally together and to join together and to move as one, that's an amazing thing. So that is what I got out of learning about the group in South Africa that was doing the Secret Scarf Mission. So I will put links to their website and other information so that you can see, you know, what else that they have done, what else they are planning to do, just in case you want to help them make their 27-kilometer scarf. You have that information will be on their website as well. So that was a pretty cool discovery. And that's everything for Black Fibers, Black Threads this week. That's pretty much everything for the whole podcast. I did want to share what has definitely been my moment of joy this week. This past Saturday night, my friend Tiffany, my brother-in-law Alan, me, and Lamar, my husband, went to a Caribbean jerk festival. Yeah, the Caribbean Jerk Festival in Claremont, Florida. And it was a lot of fun. I was telling, like, my mom called me while I was there, so I was talking to her and telling her, you know, what we were doing. And while I was on the phone with her, Lamar came over to me with like a sample of some jerk chicken. And he goes, "This is the mild one. I figured that would be something that you can handle because I cannot do spicy. Can't handle it. Can't handle it." So it gives me a little piece of this mild jerk chicken. And I was like, I think I could do that if I have some rice. So he was like, okay. And so he got me a plate of the mild jerk chicken. So by the time I have tasted this chicken, said I can do it, and he walks away, like my mouth is just burning. And he, no. I was talking to my mom, and I was like, oh my goodness, mommy, this chicken is supposed to be mild, right? I said on American spicy, it's like here. On Jamaican spicy, it's like you can't even see it. And it just really made me think about how different, you know, cultures are. Marrying into this like Jamaican and Trinidadian family has been quite the experience for me. Like, I can't tell you how many different fruits I have tried since being a part of this family. And like part of me, because I'm allergic to bananas and like plantains and everything like that, right? So part of me, whenever I go to try a new fruit, I'm like, am I gonna be allergic to this? Where's the Benadryl? Let me get this Benadryl, put it on the table, so when I try this fruit, if anything starts acting funny, I could just go ahead and take this Benadryl. But I really appreciate the fact that I am willing to try new things. But it's so weird to be able to try something for the first time. It's so weird to, especially at the age of 32, to be able to taste something that you don't have a reference for. Like the first time I tried, I think it was sweet sop, sugar apple, something like that. It's like, I'll put up a picture, this thing. The first time I tried that, it was like my brain did not understand what I was eating. And then I started kind of freaking out because I didn't know what I was eating. In my brain, I was literally thinking, okay, I don't know what this is. I don't even know what this tastes like. Oh my gosh, am I allergic to this? I think we're allergic to this. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, we're not allergic to this. We're fine. We're good. This has been my constant experience with new foods. So, but back to the Caribbean Jerk Festival. So we sat and we ate, and you know, we just chatted. There were some little girls running around playing, and then they started making a little video, and they each had their thing. They were gonna walk this way and then strike this pose, and then one was gonna snap her finger, one was gonna flick her hair. And it was the cutest thing, like watching them figure out, you know, what they wanted to do and put this idea together. And they had live music, they had a live reggae band. And so at the end, when it was almost time to go, all of the restaurants or all of the booths were breaking down. And so we went over to listen to the music. And it was just, all I kept thinking was, there's so much joy in my people, you know? Like, even though this world is so ugly, there's still joy in it. And you have to sometimes make a conscious effort to find those bits of joy. You know, Saturday was a very rough day for me, and being able to end it with my friends and my family and like a bunch of strangers all standing listening to this band sing, you know, all these different reggae songs, and ending with One Love by Bob Marley. It was great. And seeing like the old people dancing and the young people dancing, and everyone was just enjoying the moment right there. Just that sense of joy was such a beautiful thing to me. And I did take some video, and I'll put that at the end. But it was great. I'm so glad that we went. It was definitely a much needed outing. But yeah, so that is everything I've got for you guys today. If you want to leave a comment with your moments of joy from this week, so that we can all read them and enjoy them together. I still am planning my question and answer video, so if you still have any other questions that you want me to add to the list, leave those questions down below in the comments as well. And that's about it. So thank you guys so much for being here today. The wind is picking up. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I hope you have a wonderful day, have a wonderful weekend. Please join in with the Mental Health Awareness Love Bombing, and we'll see you later. Bye.
And we need to find new reasons to love and respect one another. And I'm saying not as a race, but as people. Because nothing beats love, trust me. It's the ultimate. Whoa.